already know who it is, man. It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. And man, I'm just feeling it. I could only laugh right now, you know what I mean? Tough loss. I don't know if I would have been more angry if it was a blowout, because I was angry for 3 quarters. For 3 quarters, I was angry as hell throughout this game. But in the fourth quarter, I was hyped. I was about to let bygones be bygones because it looked like we could have got the win. Bradley Beal put on a Superman cape for basically 11 minutes. 11 minutes of the fourth quarter, you know what I mean? It looked like we were going to get the win. But as much as Bradley Beal, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. As much good as he did, you can't just put the loss solely on Bradley Beal, because we wouldn't have even got back into the game without Bradley Beal, to be real. But to get that close and then for him to be the reason we basically lost at the end of the game, I don't know how to. It's so hard to. Ultimately, we lost. I'm very disappointed. We lost to a team that we shouldn't have lost to. We do have the season series, we still have the season series lead against the Hornets. We've won 2 games. We already played them 3 times this season, you know what I mean? So we got to play them one more time. I don't know when, but this should have been a 3-0. Should have been a 3-0, but maybe it shouldn't have been a 3-0 because we were down big for the majority of the game. So it's, again, all of this is arguable. This is a strange game. There's so many good and so much bad to tonight's game. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. But since we lost the game, I'm gonna start with the things that I liked. So off jump, man, I thought Kuzma started the game fast. He hit the first 2 shots for the Wizards. He was doing what he does, a little bit of assisting, a little bit of rebounding. He ended the game with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. You know what I mean? But he was a negative on the floor tonight, a negative 5 points on the floor tonight. You know what I mean? So, he had an up and down game for real. But, he had an up and down game. That's all I can really say. We forced turnovers at times throughout the night. The Hornets, I guess it was when we forced the turnovers, because they only have 4 turnovers tonight, and we have 14. So we didn't force turnovers throughout the game. I think we forced turnovers early in the game, but after that, the Hornets played a relatively clean game. 4 turnovers is extremely impressive, especially for the fact that they lost the game by 1 point. You know what I mean? Won the game by 1 point. You know what I mean? So if they had a 1 or 2 more turnovers, that could have been the difference between a win and a loss for us tonight. So I guess I didn't like that. I guess I got to put that in the dislike list, that we didn't force enough turnovers. You know what I mean? I thought Porzingis throughout the night drew fouls, especially in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, he woke up, played better. You know what I'm saying? Rebounded the ball much better in the fourth quarter. One of the things I was very angry about tonight was our lack of rebounding. But there was a coaching adjustment that Unseld made in the fourth quarter where he put Porzingis and Gafford in at the same time. And a lot of us have been clamoring for this. And I thought we would see this more this season, because they were doing that at the end of last season, towards the end of last season, and it was effective. Now, we can't play them all the time together, because if we do, then who's going to be the third center? You know what I'm saying? But this was a time where we needed to play them both together, because we were getting dominated on the boards tonight. So for Unseld to make that adjustment in the fourth quarter, it really turned the game around, and it gave us a chance to win the game. You know what I mean? So I definitely like, and then Porzingis, he was aggressive, much more aggressive in the fourth quarter, driving to the basket, drawing fouls, played a much better fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So I think that adjustment helped with his confidence because he ended up with a double-double, ended up with 11 rebounds, but the vast majority of those rebounds came in the fourth quarter because before that, he was ineffective on the boards, and the Hornets was just dominating us. I think they won. What was the differential? We had 38 rebounds. No, we had 56 rebounds. Damn, to their 45. Like, we won the rebounding battle. This is unbelievable. Like, we won the rebounding battle, but if you watch the game, it did not feel like we won the rebounding battle. Now, the Hornets did win the offensive rebounding battle, but not even by much. They had 19 offensive rebounds to our 18. So for us to even win the rebounding battle by double digits, and for us to even for us to only lose the offensive rebounding battle by 1 rebound, that was the fourth quarter because we watched this game. Looking at this box score is baffling to me, man. It felt like we were getting dominated on the boards, and we were. There was no doubt about it. But we came to play in the fourth quarter, and I think that coaching adjustment by Unseld was a big reason why. Because Gafford had 12 rebounds. Porzingis had 11 rebounds, and a lot of that was them on the floor together, and we played much better in the fourth quarter. So I think Coach Unseld had learned a lesson tonight in regards to us, not rebounding the ball well. When we're getting dominated on the boards, he knows what to do now moving forward to remedy that. And that's to play Gafford and Porzingis together. You know what I'm saying? Because they did a great job in the fourth quarter of securing rebounds. You know what I mean? I thought Bradley Beal, man, he played well. For the most of the game, he played well. Quite frankly, we wouldn't have a chance in this game if it wasn't for Bradley Beal, and we got to keep him ready. You know what I'm saying? He found open players tonight, had 7 assists, 6 rebounds. He had 3 turnovers, but 2 of those turnovers were in crunch time. You know what I mean? And we're going to get to that when we discuss the things that I didn't like about tonight's game. But he had 33 points. He played a very good, very efficient game. He was a minus 10 on the floor tonight, though. You know what I'm saying? But he was 50% from the floor. He didn't shoot the three-point shot well tonight. He was 2 for 8 from the three-point line. But 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Again, if it wasn't for Bradley Beal, we wouldn't have had a chance to even win the game. But if it wasn't for Bradley Beal at times, especially at the end of the game, we may have not lost the game either. So again, this is such a weird game, especially for Bradley Beal to be the catalyst for our comeback, but at the same time be the reason why we didn't have a chance to win the game. And he had a wide open Jay at the end of the game to take the lead, and he missed that. Out of all the shots he made, the biggest shot that we needed him to make was the one he didn't make. And that's basically the story of Bradley Beal with the Washington Wizards, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, he played well for a good majority of the game, but when we needed him most, he did what he does a lot, which is turn the ball over in crunch time and miss clutch shots. You know what I mean? Very disappointing, but at the same time, we wouldn't have been in the game without him. So I don't know, man. I'm upset with him, but I'm not. I don't know, man. This game, man. I thought Kispert hit the 3, played well tonight, hit his first 3 threes in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? And he played so well that he started the second quarter over Denny Avdia, and Denny didn't even get back in the game in the second half. And that's another thing I didn't like that I'll discuss in the things that I didn't like about tonight's game when it comes to Denny, man. I don't know, man. Inconsistent. This is not just Denny himself, but this is the Wizards. Really, the whole game was a microcosm of the Wizards. They were inconsistent for 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, they come to play. Why can't they bring that energy from the first quarter to the fourth? You know what I mean? Why does it take us being down 15, 20 points for them to wake up and start to play and give us a chance to win? You know what I mean? So, again, disappointing, yo. You know? I thought Will Barton gave us good minutes off the bench. You know what I mean? You know, there's times where Will Barton doesn't do anything. But tonight, I thought he had one of his better games off the bench. He ended with 7 points, but he was a +8 on the floor, had 4 rebounds, assists. only one turnover, you know what I'm saying? So I felt that he gave us something tonight because there's games where he doesn't give us anything, you know what I mean? So I thought he wasn't a liability tonight like he has been at times in previous games. We started better in the third quarter, but as the third quarter went on, the Hornets took over, and they ended up winning the point differential battle in the third. They won it in the first 3 quarters, you know what I mean, for real. In the fourth quarter is when we made our comeback, and we dominated the fourth quarter. Gafford, I felt, played one of his best games of the season tonight, you know what I mean? Throughout the game when he got in the game, but definitely in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? He had a double-double tonight, and I'm hoping that this is a game that wakes him up and gets him back into the Gafford that we come to know and love, especially the way he was playing towards the end of last season. You know what I'm saying? He looked like the Gafford that earned that contract extension tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping that he can just bottle this up and move forward with this effort and this type of focus. You know what I mean? Again, man, I just like the adjustment that Coach Unseld made in the fourth quarter by playing KP and Gafford together. It really, really shored up our rebounding. And again, looking at the box score and really seeing that we actually won the rebounding battle is extremely baffling to me. I'm still surprised. I still can't believe that. You know what I'm saying? But we won it in the fourth quarter. We woke up in the fourth quarter. That coaching adjustment really threw the Hornets off, and it really gave us extra possessions. Both Gafford and Porzingis gave a lot of effort in the fourth quarter in regards to rebounding the ball and only letting the Hornets get one shot. You know what I mean? So, again, Coach Unseld, great adjustment, and he found a remedy when we're getting dominated on the boards because we knew that this was going to be a problem for us throughout the season. But to get dominated by players like Plumlee, Nick Richards, I mean, it's one thing when you're playing elite talent in the post, but when you're playing average players and getting dominated, that's a cause for concern. You know what I mean? So I like that Coach Unseld figured out that this was an adjustment that needed to be made, and it definitely worked, and we had a chance to win the game. We started the fourth quarter on a 15-4 run, cut the lead to single digits. We dominated the fourth quarter. Let me see. We won the fourth quarter 28-10. You know what I'm saying? So we won the fourth quarter by 18 points. Really came back. For us to lose the game by 1 point was extremely disheartening. But again, that lineup change, having Gafford and Porzingis playing together, really threw the Hornets off. And we looked like the better front court when those two were in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? And then we got to the free throw line in the fourth quarter too. You know what I mean? We didn't shoot 9 free throws missed, man. But we got to the free throw line. We had 35 shot attempts from the free throw line. If we made 2 more, we would have won the game. So, again, we missed too many free throws. But we did get to the free throw line. And in the fourth quarter, we stepped it up, played much more aggressive. And, again, I'm wondering why we just can't play like that for the rest of the game, for the whole game. For at least 3 quarters, at least 36 minutes of the game, play that physical that we played in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? We got to step it up. And we got to be much more focused, especially against inferior teams like the Hornets, man. We shouldn't have lost to them. But we shouldn't have even been down 15, 20 points to this team. Very embarrassing, you know what I mean? But that's all I liked about tonight's game. You know what I'm saying? The fourth quarter is really where we had a chance to win the game. Unfortunately, we couldn't get over the hump. And the reasons I'm about to talk about now are the reasons why we lost the game. Off jump, man, the Hornets started extremely fast. They scored in the paint. They were dominating in the paint for the majority of the game. They scored 10 of their first 13 points in the paint. They ended the first half with a 38-24 point differential in the paint tonight. You know what I mean? So again, that just shows that they were dominating in the paint early, and in the third quarter really didn't get any better. But in the fourth quarter, we dominated in all facets of the game. You know what I mean? Kelly Oubre, an old wizard, was scoring in the paint, had a good game tonight. He ended the game with 22 points, but he wasn't as effective in the second half as he was in the first half. You know what I mean? The Hornets went up double digits early on us. Again, they went up as much as 20 points on us, 20 plus points on us tonight, which was very disheartening. So I definitely didn't like that. We were shaky on both ends of the floor from the first to the third quarter. Extremely shaky. You know what I'm saying? It was like we were a step slow, like we didn't come ready to play, and we didn't wake up until the fourth quarter. So again, quite disappointing, man. You got to be ready. We're playing an NBA team. No matter who's on the floor, you got to come ready to play, man. So I wasn't happy about that. Terry Rozier, it was his first game back for the Hornets in a while, and he came to play. And he's always been a problem for us, and tonight was not an exception. You know what I mean? He ended up scoring 25 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, no turnovers. You know what I mean? So again, we didn't force turnovers. We let him come back and score 25 on us, man. So I definitely didn't like that. We were dominated on the boards. And like I said, man, they dominated us on the first quarter, 15-6 on the boards. They ended the first half with a 25-18 advantage on the boards. So again, for me to look at the box score and see that we ended up winning the rebounding battle when we were dominated in the first half, it just again, it's really baffling, you know what I mean? But yeah, we were dominated on the boards in the first half. I knew I wasn't tripping, man. I know what I saw, you know what I mean? And we gave up way too many offensive rebounds, especially in the first quarter. We gave up 6 offensive rebounds, you know what I mean? That contributed to their double-digit lead, so I was not happy about that. Again, man, we missed a lot of free throws. We missed 9 free throws, lost the game by 1 point, you know what I mean? So yes, Bradley Beal was his last, end of the game mishaps were part of the reason we lost, but missing 9 free throws, giving technical free throws to the Hornets for not having your uniform tucked in, lose the game by 1 point. Every point matters. Everything matters, you know what I mean? So I definitely wasn't happy about that. We allowed 35 plus points in the first quarter. We allowed 74 points in the first half. Again, lackadaisical defense, not coming to play, not being focused. So I definitely didn't like that. You know what I mean? My three-point defense was suspect at times throughout the evening. The Hornets, they only ended up making, we both made the same amount of threes, 12 threes. We shot attempted 4 more threes. So we were 12 for 33 while they were 12 for 29. But it was when they hit the threes. Again, man, it's not like we played bad defense on the three-point line when you look at the box score. 41% is kind of a high number, though. So, yeah, it was kind of a high number. But it was when they hit the threes that really, really killed us. That really, really devastated us, man. So, again, if we could have played a little bit better three-point defense, we could have got this win. You know what I mean? We fouled too much in the first quarter. The Hornets were 9 for 9 from the free throw line in the first quarter alone. Nick Richards came in, gave us problems. This is the second game in a row where Richards gave us problems. He ended up with 12 points, 9 rebounds off the bench. So, again, a solid night off the bench for Richards, man. Didn't like that. We got down 15 points in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, we eventually went down 20-plus points before we started to figure things out. And in the fourth quarter, eventually made that big run to try to come back and win the game. Denny Avdia, man, he was not a factor tonight at all. The Charlotte Hornets commentators kept making a point of noticing that Denny Avdia wasn't even touching the ball when he was in the game in the first half. You know what I mean? He didn't touch the ball towards the end of the second quarter. And part of it was, the offense just flowing the way that it flows. But part of it is him not being aggressive and asking for the ball. But we know his role is to play defense, rebound, and be the glue guy. And he's not a great offensive player. So, part of it is not him. Part of it is by design. But for him to not score any points and to not even play at all in the second half was very telling. You know what I'm saying? And if he continues not to, close out, play smart basketball at times, I think Coach Unsell's going to make a permanent adjustment and put Kispert in the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? Instead of Avdia. You know what I mean? So that's something we're going to watch out for. But Avdia did not play a good game at all tonight. Plumlee was dominating Porzingis tonight in the post. Out of all players, Plumlee was dominating Porzingis, especially in the first half and part of the third quarter. You know what I mean? He ended up with 17 and 10 rebounds with 3 assists and a block and only 1 turnover. You know what I mean? So, but in the fourth quarter, to Porzingis' credit, he started taking over and become a problem for Plumlee. He ended up with 5 fouls. So, I didn't like the fact that Porzingis got dominated for basically 3 quarters, but he made up for it in the fourth quarter and gave us a chance to win. The Hornets were making too many threes in the first quarter. Didn't like that. PJ Washington got hot in the third quarter, scored 11 points. McDaniels also contributed, got hot in the third quarter. And like I said, we got down 20 points in the third quarter before we started to turn it around in the fourth. The Hornets won the first 3 quarters in regards to scoring. You know what I mean? Again, we dominated in the fourth quarter, 28-10, 18 points differential. But in the first 3 quarters, the Hornets won the scoring battle, and I definitely didn't like that. And then finally, Bradley Beal, man. As much as he did good tonight, didn't turn the ball over too much. He's turned the ball over 3 times, but 2 of those turnovers were in the last minute, maybe 2 minutes of the game. And again, man, Bradley Beal, crunch time, I don't know what it is with him, but in crunch time, he turns the ball over the same type of way, dribbling off of his leg, ball going out of bounds, gets stripped by Kelly Oubre, and then misses that last jumper that could have put us up, man. So I don't know, man. Again, he did so well for the majority of the game, but to lose the ball, to lose the handle at the end of the game, we've seen him do it so many times that is extremely frustrating. So, it's a glass half full, glass half empty type of look. I don't even know how to look at it. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for Bradley Beal, we wouldn't have had a chance to win. But if it wasn't for his turnovers, we could have won the game. You know what I mean? So, very disappointing, very devastating. Any way you look at it, man. But anyway, that's everything that I dislike, man. And that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. Very disheartening loss when we could have won the game. Exciting game in the fourth quarter. Terrible game in the first 3 quarters. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, that's all I got. If you like the content, man, I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel at The Wizards Review on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter as well, at Wizards Review. You can follow me, King Ade DMV, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as on the Xbox Series X and S on NBA 2K23. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, I'm about to sign off. Till next game. Don't let this ruin your Friday night. I'm going to try not to let it ruin mine. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, have a good night. Till next time, take care. Peace.